Could be a lot closer to that rear clipping zone as we now transition around that final clip. And tightening around on the water side. Let him know you're here. Oh, Toshiki throwing out some sparks. Looking like he's hitting some switches down there on Ocean Avenue with a lowrider, but Yoshioka letting it all hang out. Ryan, maybe you could drop some knowledge on the Scion FRS and how capable that vehicle is now, it being part of the Toyota Celebrity Race, and how integral and important and also historic I think that car will be in the drifting world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it pretty much jumped right onto the scene. It came back out, I think it debuted last year. It was the first time in competition we saw an FRS was in Formula Drift. And this year we have 5 different versions of that car competing in the series. So it's definitely become a popular vehicle to use. And in the Celebrity Race, it's going to be really exciting to watch this weekend.
In previous years, you see a lot, over the years of the Toyota Celebrity Race, you've seen Celicas, you've seen Corollas. Well, now with the debut of the Scion brand, obviously under the Toyota badge, the Scion FRS, front engine, rear wheel drive, sport. You need to check one out with the 2-liter boxer engine. Check one out. And again, a very dynamic vehicle and one that's going to be exciting both on the track and off the track. A 75 for Toshiki Yoshioka. So doing some things a little bit better than Jeff Jones, but also quite a bit off of some clipping points for Yoshioka there as we get our next driver coming into view. That is Robbie Bashida Blade Nishida. Robbie Nishida, 2JZ powered SC430 or Toyota Soarer in this instance. Make some noise for him, Robbie Bashida Blade Nishida. Achilles radial. Lexus SC. Toyota Soarer, as it's a right-hand drive Japanese spec vehicle. Again, tabulating the scores. Each driver 2 non-consecutive runs. Tell your friends to tune in live to formuladee.com/live. People always ask about tires. Tires, obviously, these guys use these things like toilet paper, let's be quite honest. Tires are a very integral part in drifting as you rip through the course. You're going to, you want a tire sponsorship because you're going to rip through them. These guys only get a couple passes on them. These are the same tires that you can purchase for your very own vehicle. DOT certified that you can purchase from your own tire retailer. So as informing you here on the tires, I'm going to tell you Robbie Nishida's score, an 89.3. We have a new leader, Robbie Bashida Blade Nishida, and the Achilles radial Lexus SC430 with an 89.3. So the same DOT tires you run on your car are the same tires these guys are running out here. They're not shaved, they're not chemically treated. No special smoke machines like the Houdini or David Copperfield, pending your demographic. As we get our next driver leaving the start line. Thank you to Cal Club for spending a late night with us here, early morning and a late night. Thank you for joining us. As Dominican Republic's own Jonathan Castro in the Progresso hand-cooked tires 350Z. Making those hand-cooked tires bark, ripping through the course, very fast speeds as he goes left to right and rounds it out. Make some noise for Jonathan Castro in the Progresso hand-cooked tire City Tire Online 350Z. Ryan, truly international affair. You see just in these first few drivers, Walker Wilkerson, a Northwest local, obviously, but you got Jeff Jones, another Southern California kid, Yoshioka, Japanese, Robin Ishida, Japanese, Castro from Dominican Republic. We've seen many different champions over the years. It's truly international affair. I talked about it earlier, but Formula Drift Australia expanding just next weekend.
Yeah, we'll be heading out to Melbourne. You and I will hop on a plane along with the rest of the Formula Drift judging crew here and go out and test the waters in Australia. It's part of the Formula Drift Asia Series, round number 1 kicking off, and we're going to have a good time, I think. It's going to be great.
It's going down under for the first time, but we've expanded Southeast Asia over the past 5 years, including Singapore for the past 5 years. That's now turned into kind of an invitational, but that's to be decided. But our 3 rounds of the Southeast Asia Championship, Malaysia, Jakarta, Indonesia, and this first round here in Australia. So truly international affair, both on track and also the events as we await the score for Jonathan Castro. 52.3. So a very dismal score for Castro, but I gotta say, yeah, go ahead, make some noise for Jonathan Castro. 52.3 gets a score up on the board. But I have to say, you know, from last year to this year, it looks like he's a lot more comfortable in this car, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he was a star of one of his own shows on the Speed Channel, and he really brought his profile up quite a bit. Now he's trying to get his drifting skill to that point to compete against his best, and he's doing a great job.
It's hard to go from, you know, he'd never been to the States until last year's first round at Long Beach. Who has been to the States? Forrest Wang! Kid Nuts Laboratory, his shop. Yes, sir. Hitting the rear clipping zone is Forrest Wang. Boom goes the dynamite for Forrest Wang, leaving evidence on track, garnishing some applause from the judges. Come on, Long Beach, let them hear ya. Forrest Wang. Ryan impressing a lot of people here in the stands. Forrest Wang putting down one heck of a run.
Yeah, absolutely. As you can see, he really used the entire course. He went deep on this first wall coming out of turn 9, which is what the judges are looking for, right up on that outside zone underneath the Firestone Bridge. As we look at the replay right here, he goes very deep, great angle, and as he transitions right there on that wall, then very, very deep right here in the second outer zone where those two pylons are. Those are clipping zones. And then on this last inside clipping point right here, he does a great job. I wouldn't be surprised if he's up there as one of the top scorers of the night.
If he's not the leader, I'm going to slap these judges. Let's be quite honest. Oh, wow. Look at, they're already retracting right now. His speed was down. They just don't want to get slapped, I think. I'm just kidding. It's a tough job being a judge. You know, people kind of scratch their heads as far as motorsports goes. You know, drifting, you kind of think it's just a stunt show, it's stunt driving. No, these guys are some of the skilled drivers in the motorsports world. It's very comparable to that of freestyle motocross. So, wow, look at this. 80.4, he's in second place, a second place finish. Andy, let me come over here. Let me slap you real quick. Slap. I'm just kidding. Here we go. I'm moving on to our next driver, Pat Mordaunt. Now, you just saw Forrest Wang utilize the whole track. It's going to be hard to back that up. As Pat Mordaunt rounding it out, a bit too little too late, but still, you know, kind of want to see some more angle from him, but go ahead and put your hands together. Pat Mordaunt, we call him the Possum, the Awesome Possum. So here's a replay here for you, Ron. You can see Pat Mordaunt, a hard act to follow up there, Forrest Wang.
Yeah, well, as you can see, he came kind of a little bit of middle line right there. Wasn't able to get to that outer wall, what the judges are looking for. Was able to kind of get back on pace right here and get in front of that inside clip on the last zone right there. But just, you know, a little bit, like to see a little bit more from Patrick Mordaunt.
You know he's got it in him. Again, finally, just like Castro, really working it out, putting it all together. And as is Pat Mordaunt. You've seen different incarnations of that Lexus SC430 over the years. So Pat Mordaunt awaiting his score. But going back to Forrest Wang, clarification, you know, as the judges, they said his speed was way down. And I've always noticed that. I've seen him come through the Pro-Am ranks. He has really exciting style, good degree of angle, but just lacking the speed. And, you know, obviously when you're going slower speeds, it's going to be easier to manipulate your car into those rear clipping zones. So justification behind the judge's verdict on Forrest Wang. Well, the verdict on Pat Mordaunt, 58.5. That's a 58.5 for Patrick the Possum Mordaunt. We are clear to send our next drivers. The shadows loom in the dark on the start line. You can see some other drivers staged in the back. Coming into this Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge, we started from the bottom to the top. Some drivers that were not seated into our highest seated driver coming out of round 1. And unfortunately, currently 4th in points after our first round of competition is Chelsea Denofa. But unfortunately, him and his BC Racing Nitto Tires BMW is unfortunately not coming to the line as he's having some technical issues. Right now, who is coming? Matt Powers, Fat Lace, Nitto Tires, K-Tech, V8 240SX. Transitioning through into the rear clip. Good flick, nice wall drag by Powers with the strike of a lightning and around that clip. Let him know you're here. Matt Powers from San Diego, California. If you haven't seen Matt Powers' race suit, you can see it just a little bit there on the replay. Fully dressed for all occasions. It's a tuxedo affair here, black and white. And let's take a look at his instant replay there, Ryan.
Yeah, not the greatest run from Matt Powers, but certainly we'll get him up there. I'd like to see him a little bit wider on those outer zones, but certainly nice job on that second outer zone and right here on the last inside clipping point. So probably not the best run of the night, but I'm sure he'll do better next time around.
And looking for some big things from Matt Powers this year, picking up a new engine package from that K-Tech and the Nitto Tire Fat Lace 240SX S14 chassis. Again, if you have the chance, you're definitely going to check out Matt Powers' race suit. Sweet little tuxedo jam with interchangeable full Nomex bow ties. No big deal, ladies. He is available. He is available. Slow clap. As Matt Powers waits for his score. 80.9, 80.9, now currently in second place. Put your hands together for Matt Powers. Getting pitted. As we wait for our next driver, you can see the red lights on. Hopefully turn on his headlights. I don't think he will. As Ryan Cotto, the kid from Sacramento, California, DNA Automotive on Nexen Tires, coming in. Nice using the wall, swinging it wide, back out. Woo, tapping the wall. Standing on the V8 turbo. Whoa, coming in hot. Seemed like it was getting a little loose there, but held it together. That is Ryan the Kid Cotto from Sacramento, California. Running the KA56 out of the Titan or the Armada, the 5.6 liter, and then throwing a turbo on it late last year, and having some good luck with it. You can see how close he was to that wall. Nice job by Cotto. Right here, swings a little too wide. It's getting slippery down there. You have to think that with the track conditions, obviously the temperature cooling down, therefore the track cooling down could potentially get slicker as the track conditions change, as do the cars. Waiting for Ryan Cotto's score in the Nexen Tire DNA Motoring V8 Turbo 350Z. DTA, don't trust anybody. There it is, 66.1 for Ryan Cotto in the Nexen Tire DNA Motoring Nissan 350Z. Feel free to put your hands together for Ryan the Kid Cotto. We're ready to send our next driver. Here we go, coming into view. This is Odi Bakshis, United States Air Force Nexen Tires V8 S14. Woo! Nice job by Odi. Atta boy, Odi. Good flick, aggressive flick from Odi. Solid transition. Only thing, you know, I'd kind of scrutinize for him would be that coming off of this rear clip in front of the judges off 18 into that final clip, kind of beelined it towards that final front clipping point, Ryan.
Well, you can see right here on initiation, Jerry does go a little bit of a middle line. We like to see him get a little bit wider right here, but right here, right in front of the fans, nice job on that outer zone. And then right here, as you mentioned, towards the second outside zone, he gets a little bit out of whack right there, but nice job by Odi overall. I'm sure it'll be a great score.
As Odi Bakshis, the United States Air Force Nexen Tires V8 240SX from Wrightwood, California. Soft-spoken guy, but carries a big clutch kick. Now, how many people actually drift out there? Let me see a show of hands. How many people actually drift out there? All right, now how many people in video games? I'm not talking about video games. Half of those hands went down. Oh, some people are like, ooh, too soon, too soon. I'm just kidding. All right, we get Odi's score there, 85.2. That's an 85.2. Put your hands together for Odi Bakshis with an 85.2, sliding literally and figuratively into second place. 2 more runs to go for our first run. They'll get escorted back by the all-new Lexus IS all-wheel drive vehicle, our official pace car here. As we see, oh, Michael has a shallow on initiation, but now throwing it out. Smoking those Yokohama tires. Very fast through the course, looking more like a Grand Am car then a drift car. Put your hands together for Michael Essa. That was Michael Essa. Unfortunately, that was not Daigo Saito. Daigo, to be honest, may or may not make it back tonight. As Larry Chen is in the building. Speedhunters.com, how we doing? Yeah, right now, Daigo may or may not make it back tonight, as well as Mohan and Denofa are out as we take a look once again at Essa's run.
Yeah, you can see Jared, he was just not as deep as he'd like to be on that first part of the outer zone. Second part, he was able to get back into a little bit and make up on a nice little job right there on that second and last inside clipping point. But not the greatest run from Michael Essa, but one more to go.
He's got one more in the bag, and we saw, you know, they say if you got to, how you start it is how you're going to finish it. And you saw Essa come into view, and he was shallow off the bat. Did not use the whole track from left to right, and as the judges would call it, ping-ponging all over the course as we're throwing some signs up here for 69.3, dude. 69.3 for Michael Essa in the GSR Autosports BMW on Yokohama tires. 69. Remember, tomorrow night, Saturday Night Lights, you guys better be coming back here. Let me see a show of hands. Who's coming back here tomorrow night? Let's be quite honest. I'm going to call you out right now. And don't tell me you have dinner with your mom tomorrow night. I called her. She says it's okay. You can come out and play. You can stay out till the lights are still on. Here we go. Frederick Osbo, Scion TC on Hankook Tires, Papadakis Racing. This is the Norwegian Hammer. Frederick Osbo. A force to be reckoned with last weekend. Looking a little bit easy here. Kind of taking easy with a moderate run as he wraps around. Put your hands together for Frederick Osbo. Ryan, let's take a look at the instant replay. You can see him hard as nails here, running that Norwegian flag.
Yeah, you know, I thought Frederick Osbo was going to come out a little bit more aggressively, but I think maybe there might be some strategy at play here, considering the fact that if Daigo Saito is out and gets seated in top 16, the #1 qualifier has to go up against him. That could definitely be a problem. Seems to me like Frederick maybe taking a little bit easy, kind of get in the middle of the field and avoid having to face Daigo in the early rounds.
Interesting, yeah, we just talked about that right before our last run. Daigo Saito, no show for tonight. Don't go anywhere, we still have another run. If you guys are leaving or have to use the bathroom all at the same time, don't worry. There's plenty of porta potties. But if you're staying here, we still got another run for each of the drivers as we'll get them back to the top of the start line. As already Mohan and Denofa out till tomorrow, and Daigo potentially out for tonight. So they'll be seated. Daigo Saito would essentially be down at the bottom, with currently Robbie Nishida qualifying first as we wait for Osbo's score. We'll see if that changes. I don't imagine it will, seeing that run. And he will not. So 77.4 for Frederick Osbo. So currently sitting in first is Robbie Bushido Blade Nishida, with Odi Bakshi's in second, Matt Powers in third. Calvin Wan, excuse me, not Calvin Wan, he hasn't been out here for a while. Forrest Wang, excuse me. Forrest Wang in fourth. Jeff Jones in fifth. Toshiki Yoshioka in sixth. Frederick Osbo 7th, Michael Essa 8th, Ryan Cotto 9th. In 10th, Pat Murdaunt. 11th, Jonathan Castro. And we have drivers out, such as Kyle Lemetis Mohan, Chelsea Denofa, Daigo Saito. Pat Gooden also. So 4 drivers not here on the line. You're at the Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge, as these guys grab some fuel and head back up to the start line. My name's Jared Deenda. If you're driving home, remember, drive safely and have a designated driver. Thank you again to the Cal Club for joining us here from start to finish. A long day. It's going to be a long weekend. So let's have some fun out here. Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back here to Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge. Under the lights qualifying evening. Second run of their qualifying session. Already knocked out 4 drivers, not knocked out, but knocking themselves out. Pat Gooden having a drive shaft issue. Kyle the Menace Mohan potentially suffering engine issues. Chelsea Nova trans as we get Walker Wilkerson back up here for his second qualifying run. Achilles Radial Fueled Racing 240SX. And there he is bringing around that final clip. We'll see if he can better his first score of a 0. I'm sure he will, as he made some large mistakes on his first run. We'll see if Walker Wilkerson can put it together.
Well, certainly will not get a 0 on this run. Jared, not the greatest run, a little bit of an inside line right there. I'd like to see him get out a little bit wider towards that outer wall, but certainly he's in the show no matter what, just trying to figure out where he's going to slot into those 16 drivers.
As Walker Wilkerson, Achilles Radial Fueled Racing, Nissan 240SX. Debuting a new vehicle this year with an S14 chassis as opposed to his previous S13 chassis. Still 240SX. .52.4 for Walker Wilkerson. We are clear to send our next driver. 52.4 for Walker Wilkerson. Here we go. Jeff Jones, CX Racing. Hankook tires, V8 S14. Woo! Using all the wall. Whoa! Jeff tapping the wall. Affected his run quite a bit, trying to go hard as nails. And the wall bites back a little bit. But come on, make some noise for him, Jeff Jones. Jeff going hard. Muy gusto. There it is. Take a look at it, Ryan.
Yeah, Jeff Jones is relentless. Didn't we say that last week? Just absolutely going balls to the wall all day long. Nice job by Jeff Jones. Definitely probably improve on his score.
It's a family show, Ryan. It's a family show. As Jeff Jones waiting for his score. Look at him. Hard as nails, the red and blue lights. From right here in Southern California. Sitting on a 75.6 for his first run. Sitting currently in 5th. As we wait. We take the better score of the two. Now I asked who drifted out there, and you guys raise your hands. Remember, keep it off the streets and keep it on the track. We have, fortunately, here in Southern California and all across the country, plenty of sanctioning bodies for you to compete in, from Pro-Am to Pro. Here we go, Jeff Jones' score. A 66 for Jeff Jones. We are clear to send our next driver. Turning and burning here. Remember, tomorrow night, 7:30 is when the action unfolds. Toshiki Yoshioka, Tomei Power, GT Net, Subaru BRZ. Yoshioka, wow, really way off the wall as Yoshioka transitions. And now tightens it up. Sparking. He brings his own fireworks to the show. Toshiki Yoshioka, Ryan, let's take a look at it. Way off the wall on every rear clip.
Yeah, struggling there a little bit, trying to loosen it up. A little bit too much grip, it seems like, in the car. Goes not as wide as you like to see him on that second outer zone, and right here on the inside clip, he's just pushing a little bit too wide right there. So not the greatest run from Toshiki Yoshioka. Oh, dropping some sparks there as well.
Looking like a lowrider again on ocean or shoreline, just dropping the switches, magnesium plates underneath, but I'm sure he's all right in that Subaru BRZ.
Oh, wow. The awesome button actually makes it.
Scores up 63.7. That's a 63.7 89.7 for Yoshioka. He does not better his first score. Yoshioka with a 75. Here we go with our next driver. This is Robbie Bushido Blade Nishida, currently our #1 qualifier. Look at the smoke coming out those Achilles. Woo, nice and tight to the wall. Robbie bringing it out. Can he better his first score? Hitting that rev limiter, wraps it around the 2J powered, a bit off of that front clip as Robbie with an 89.3 on his first run. Can he better it, Ryan?
Well, we saw Robbie really coming into his own last year, Jared, getting comfortable with the car. This year he comes out with a brand new setup and seems to be doing very, very well in this vehicle. Nice job on that outer zone right there, very close to the wall, and also very close on that second outer zone. Will that beat his 89.3 in the first run? Can't really tell, but definitely a great run by Robbie Nishida.
We're about to find out from our 3 judges, Ryan Lantain, Brian Eggert, and Andy Yen. Waiting for Robbie's score. And there it is, 81.6. He does not better his first score, the 89.3. I got to say he did better on under the bridge, under the Firestone bridge, but right here in front of the judges on this rear clip, and also on that last and final clipping point. That's kind of the exclamation point on the run. You want to see him nice and tight and just wrap it around there, but utilizing all of the course. Again, this is the same line you're going to be seeing tomorrow. The lead car adhering to this is chase car needs to utilize the lead car as a moving. Oh, Jonathan Castro looked like he was going to dive in. Now, woo, nice tight. Bringing it out wider on the sweeping turn. Oh, and a big correction. You saw his front wheels just waver there, but put your hands together for Dominican Republic's own Jonathan Castro. Jonathan Castro coming to us from the DR with a 52.3 on his first run. That was a huge mistake there on the latter part of the course. Got closer there. It didn't go towards the middle of the course there, brought it out to the rear clipping zone, but right here, you see his front tires, boom, just straighten out and make a mistake. So not an amazing way to end the run, but everybody is guaranteed in tomorrow's show. Where they land is up to them. As Jonathan Castro, Progresso, Hankook Tires, City Tire Online, 350Z. 65.4 for Jonathan Castro. Here we go with our next driver, Forrest Wang. Now let's see if he can get some speed here, as he looked very excited on that first run. Hitting the clip, tapping the brake. Nice, consistent smoke and speed through the course. Not as precise as his first run, but I'm sure he heard the notes of saying, make it faster. So again, you're compromising speed for clips, and he was off the clips, but obviously a little bit faster.
Well, certainly no shortage in style from Forrest Wang. You can see right here as he shoots out toward this outer wall. Nice job right there, about a foot off. Gets really close to this first outer zone as well. Like you said, he does increase his speed a little bit. That seemed to be a big factor in his lower score, even though he was sitting in second or third place by this point in the first run. So pretty good run by Forrest Wang. Definitely be a great competitor for the weekend.
As Forrest Wang awaits his score. Just a few more drivers left as we wait for Forrest Wang's score. $85.6. That's an 85.6 for Forrest Wang. 85.6. So sacrificing the preciseness on his first run, getting some speed, and getting those all too critical 10 points for speed, and he nails it. 85.6 for Forrest Wang. You can see the smoke looming as Mother Nature, the smoke Zamboni machine, clears the track. As we now initiate, this is Pat Murdaunt, Diamond Lighting Technologies. Yokohama tires. Whoa! 350Z. Tapping the wall and parking it. Purely cosmetic. He does have a score from his first run of a 58.5. That will be a 0 for his second run. Put your hands together for Pat Merdon, the Diamond Lighting Technologies. Lexus SC430 Turbo V8. Five more drivers left for qualifying. All right. Again, join us live online, formuladcom/live for tomorrow's action. Here's the instant replay of Pat Merdon. Boom goes the dynamite. The back end of Pat Merdon's car exploding as Matt Powers comes through. Woo! Nice aggressive flick from Powers. Bringing it wide to the wall and around the final clip. Nice job by Matt Powers. Ryan, I gotta say, I really liked how he transitioned from that wall and into this rear clipping zone under the bridge. Very aggressive and just snappy.
Well, one of the main things that the judges said in the driver's meeting is it really is about how you connect that first part of the course. If you don't go wide and get out to that outer part of the wall, it's really going to be hard to get close to the first outer zone and then subsequently the second outer zone. And Matt Powers is a good example of showing that if you stay on the right line, you can make it all the way through and have a great run.
And with those bright Motegi Racing track lights, you see it. There's a new leader, 90.9. That's a 90.9 for Matt Powers, our new leader and our #1 qualifier as it stands now. So he could be beat. Odi Bakshi's coming up. He's currently second, or now bumped down to third. And Ryan, we talked about it, who they're going to be paired up against. Could be Daigo Saito, one of the best in the biz. Kyle Mohan, Chelsea Denofa, Pat Gooden. Those guys, a no-show this evening, but we'll see them back tomorrow, hopefully, as they get their cars back together. As Ryan the Kid Cotto, DNA Automotive, Nexon Tires, V8 Turbo, 350Z. 3/4 wide as now flicks it into that rear clipping zone. The Cottos, I know you're watching at home. Here we go, transition around that final exclamation clip. And there it is, Ryan Cotto. Well, Ryan, let's take a look at Ryan's run here. Not utilizing the whole course, ping-ponging the track, but looking a lot more comfortable than his first run.
Well, Ryan Cotto is sitting on a 61.6. Will he better that and move up into the bracket? You can see right here. Goes pretty deep on that second outer zone, a little bit further down the course than you'd like to see him. And as he comes into the last part of the course right here, he's just a little bit off that inside clip with a little bit less angle than you'd like to see, but overall decent run. And will he better his 61.6? He does with the 67.7.
There you go, 67.7 for Cotto. Best his first score of a 61.1. 3 more drivers left here at qualifying night of the Motegi Racing. MotegiRacing.com and all the color varieties of the Motegi Racing track light featured on Frederick Osmo and Matt Powers' vehicle. How'd they look on your car? Go to MotegiRacing.com and find out. Here we go with Odi Bakshi's United States Air Force Nexon Tires 240SX. Good job by Odi as we bring it through the sweeper. And around that final clip, looks like our live stream went out a little bit there. So we apologize for the glitch. But it looked like our live stream lost transmission, but we'll reconnect and fix that. But Odi Bakshi's finishing out a pretty good run there. But he had a solid score on his first run, an 85.2, Ryan. As obviously we saw the run here in the flesh. Don't have the instant replay, but Currently, let's talk about the standings here and what's going on, what's unfolding.
Yeah, looking at the standings as they are right now, we've got some really interesting things coming up. We got Pat Gooden, who is our lowest ranked driver, will be sitting in the 16th position. Kyle Mohan will be sitting in the 15th position as the second lowest ranked driver. And it gets real interesting right here. You've got Daigo Saito sitting in the 14th ranked position and Chelsea Denofa in the 13th ranked position because they did not compete here and were able to get into a qualifying slot tonight. They will automatically be entered based on their current rank in the series. Now, what that basically means coming up that are going to compete against Daigo, Chelsea, Kyle, and Pat Gooden will be decided here, and we'll know what our matchups are in just a few moments.
What was the last score? What was Odie's score? All right, we'll get back to Odie's scores. We have two more drivers. This is Michael Essa. 1, 2 walls. Hitting all the walls is Essa. Oh, we see a perfect score from Michael Essa. Unbelievable. Oh, my goodness. Are we going to see a perfect score? Is that the perfect run? Stop your feet. Make some noise, Long Beach. The GSR Autosports BMW and Yokohama tires. Let's take a look at it once again. Ryan, is this the perfect score?
Well, Matt Powers sitting #1 qualifier, but check this out. Goes so deep right there is Michael Essa. Absolutely perfect. And then up against that wall. If this is not your #1 qualifier, I will be very, very surprised. Nice job right there on that outer zone. And then just absolutely locks it down on this last inside clip. Tremendous run by Michael Essa.
A jaw-dropping run. I'm sitting here as you're talking and looking at the replay. I mean, he absolutely nailed every single clipping point, including 91.9, 91.9. A new leader in Michael Essa. And man, I'm so stoked for Essa as we have still one more driver, and it is the Hammer, the Norwegian Hammer. But man, what an amazing run for Michael Essa. Unbelievable run. Congratulations to GSR Autosports. Street cred is definitely yours right now, all over the interwebs. Here we go, Frederick Osbo, the Norwegian Hammer. Osbo working it wall-to-wall, not as tight as Osbo, but still good nonetheless. Oh, shutting her down. Osbo shutting it down around that last final clip. That is our final driver, as Frederick Osbo will begin to 0. And taking a look at this, Ryan, you talked about 16 through 15. Qualifying #1, Michael Essa. Qualifying second, Matt Powers. Robbie Nishida in third. Forrest Wang in fourth. Forrest Wang in fourth. Odie Bakshis in fifth. Frederick Osbo in sixth. Jeff Jones in seventh. Toshiki Yoshioka in eighth. Ryan the Kid Cotto in ninth. Jonathan Castro from Dominican Republic in 10th. Pat the Possum Merdon 11th. Walker Wilkerson in 12th. Chelsea Denofa in 13th. Daigo the Ninja Saito, 2012 Formula Drift champion, in 14th. Kyle the Menace Mohan in 15th. And Pat Gooden rounding out the top 16. This is your Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge. Tomorrow night, we'll see you back here 7:30. Remember, drive home safely, and we'll see you back here at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, and specifically here at the Motegi Racing Super Drift Challenge, brought to you by Formula Drift.
Test.
Test. 2, 2.